can't get a board to do things unless they've agreed to do them, right? And what this document is a set of expectations. So we'll go over it in a little bit more detail, but I just want to highlight it for your point. And that is, you have, the board as a group has to agree, what do we expect of one another? What is the standard to which we're going to hold each other? And once you have an agreement on that standard, then when you have the board member who's not doing so much and so on and so forth, you then have a ground on which to say, look, you know, maybe it's time to give up. You know, we love you. You've been really interesting for a while, but you know, but this is what we need of you. They give you the ground, and they give the governance committee the ground on which to say to someone when their term is up, okay, you know, we've been talking about these contracts. You know, you're not doing so great on this stuff. Maybe it's time to step off. Maybe it's time for your term not to be renewed, because too many organizations, terms are renewed automatically. We have to really say, why do we do this? You know, why do we all do this? Why do we do this? First, it's the mission. And so, we care about this thing in the world. So for me, what that means is a couple of things. Number one, I think it's crucial to recruit for mission. Passion. I don't want anybody on my board who does not, for some personal reason, care deeply about what we're doing. Because if they don't, they're not going to put up with this. So that's really important. There needs to be an opportunity for board members to get to know each other. There's got this, you know, it's not frivolous. An annual dinner where board members get together. Opportunities before the board meeting, after the board meeting, serve some wine after the board meeting, people hang out, talk to each other, set up a structure. One of the things I'm doing with one board, set up a structure so that every board member has a responsibility. Let's say you've got 10 board members. Every board member has a responsibility over the course of the year to have lunch with 3 other board members. Think about what that would do in terms of building trust, making people connect with each other, giving them the opportunity to connect with each other, getting them to know each other. This business about knowing each other is really interesting. I did a board retreat for one organization, and I did a survey before. One of the things the board members said was, we don't really know each other. I said, okay. So we did the retreat. I did one of these dumb icebreakers, but it was very helpful. I said, everybody, tell me something about yourself that's not on your resume. It was wonderful, right? It was wonderful. All of a sudden, oh my God, these are people. They're interesting. I'd like to know more about you. You know, what do you do? You write poetry? I mean, wow. You know, I mean, whatever it is. But with that dynamic is crucial. Key thing for me is the board has got to be a good social group. It's got to be a group that I want to be a member of. It's got to be a group so that, think about whether this characterizes your board meetings, right? It's got to be a place so that when I come to a board meeting and I see my fellow board members, I'm happy to see them. I like them. I want to talk to them. I want to ask them about their lives and how have you been, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, right? If that's not happening in your board, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And it's not going to work, because what drives board members at the end of the day, I don't want to let my friends down. I want to do my best for this group because I care about these people and I value their opinion of me. I've been urging organizations to add, at the end of after the things to be done, 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the meeting. That's executive session. Staff leaves. I don't know what's going to happen in that 5 or 10 minutes. I don't have a clue. But I would like to give the board an opportunity to say things that might have been on their minds, and they didn't quite want to say it because the executive director was in the room, but they might be important. And they might lead to things that we need to focus on. Just an open opportunity to to say whatever we need to talk about. Is there anything that, been on your mind that you haven't? There is something that happens in there that really needs to be moved out, then you move it out. And, and make a note of it. But other than that, there's no minutes, it's totally anonymous, it's a safe space. To assign another officer with the responsibility for managing the committees. Give it to one of the other officers. The officer I like to give it to is the vice chair. Because the vice chair is the one officer who has no job. Right? The job of the vice chair is to take over when the chair is not there. It doesn't often happen, right? So it's no job at all. But usually the person that's elected as vice chair is someone who's got some stature on the board to be an officer. I give them that job, managing the committees. That's your job. And what it does is it sets that person up to be the next chair. They now know everything.